Bjork, spelled Bjork, is an Icelandic singer-songwriter. Bjork has been praised for her innovative and experimental vocal and compositional performances. Bjork is an inspiration to many great artists, including Tom York of Radiohead. So how did Bjork gain this reputation? Bjork was born in Reykjavik in 1961 to Hildur Högsdóttir and Guðmundur Gunnarsson. Around 4 or 5 years old, her father noticed she had a gift for music. She was very interested in music and could sing any song on the radio where only hearing it once. She would also put on performances at family gatherings around this age, singing to all her family that would listen. Eventually, she went to live with her mother, who had become part of a sort of hippie commune. A quote from her biography says, "It's brilliant for a kid. Can you imagine being brought up by 7 grown-ups who all hate work and all they want to do is play games with you all the time and tell you stories and make kites?" Because of her mother valuing freedom and expression above all else, she let Bjork have as much freedom as she was allowed. This let her become extremely self-sufficient at a young age. Another quote from her says, "When I was 5 or so, I had a key around my neck, and I took the bus myself to school and did all my homework and dressed and fed myself." I feel like this should give you a good idea of Bjork as a person. She's been independent and free since she was young, and she's been musically gifted since the age of 4. This has given her a very interesting perspective on life that comes through a lot in her music. Going into her career as an artist, Bjork has released a lot of hit albums and songs. Her first 2 widely recognized albums, Debut and Post, both received a lot of attention and praise. These albums have most of her most popular songs on them, such as Army of Me, Venus is a Boy, It's Oh So Quiet, etc. After starring in and composing the music for the movie Dancer in the Dark, which also received international praise, Bjork delved even deeper into her more experimental side, releasing albums like Vespertine, Medulla, and Volnikira. This more experimental side led her into interacting with other experimental indie artists such as Tom York and even Death Grips. Over the course of her career, Bjork has been nominated for over 300 awards and has won 138 for both her music and acting career, and sometimes just for being awesome in general, I guess. I think a good way to introduce you to the music and vocals of Bjork is through the song Hidden Place off of her 2001 album Vespertine. Vespertine is a very personal album from Bjork, describing intimate moments of her life through the style and instrumentation and lyrics.
Vespertine is an album made by a character who's very introvert, and it's about the universe inside every person. And this time around, I wanted to make sure that the scenery of the songs is not like a mountain or a city or outside. It's inside. So it's very internal. So I guess
instrumental-wise, it is very minimalistic, using a lot of string and orchestral sounds. It was purposefully designed with a computer speaker in mind, as around this time, people were beginning to listen to music a lot on their computer, to the point where a lot of the instrumentals could be played on music boxes that she would create for the album. The song Hidden Place is about finding safety in a relationship with someone else.
Can I hide there too? Hide in the air of him. Seek solace, sanctuary.
The song also showcases Bjork's writing ability, where she uses creative literary devices to convey clearly how she is feeling.
Your love was sent to me. I'm not sure what to do with it. He is the beautifulest, fragilest, still strong, dark and divine.
Also tying into what we have recently been talking about in class, the music video for the song does a great job of conveying the themes of the song and the album it's on. Although do be warned, it's a little gross, as the video is mostly a close-up shot of her face as a multicolored liquid flows through and around her eyes, nose, and mouth. The close-ups show the intimate nature of the song, and the flowing liquid shows how the hidden place she talks about is inside of her. There's also this part where you see Bjork inside of her own open mouth, showing literally the point of the hidden place being inside of her. A good conclusion to this segment is this quote by Bjork about this song that comes from an online interview she did on her website that has since been archived. Hidden place is sort of about how two people can create a paradise just by uniting. You've got an emotional location that's mutual, and it's unbreakable, and obviously it's make-believe, so you could argue that it doesn't exist because it's invisible, but of course it does. And it's sort of a 1-0 situation, or if you believe in something high enough. I mean, maybe at first when you mention it and you talk about it, it doesn't exist. It might be artificial, but you just keep on believing in it, and it grows strong. It'll become real, you know. And I guess that's something, sort of the human spirit conquering the dullness and boredom. For the end of this video, I want to talk about why I chose Bjork for this project and why I personally find Bjork to be a very special artist. For one, she has an amazing voice. Her range is great and her Icelandic accent makes her voice extremely unique. I also really like her writing style and the instrumentals she makes for her songs. But above all, one of my favorite things about Bjork that affects all parts of her music is just how open she is about her life and how interesting her perspective is. Reading about her early life in the biography is an interesting reading experience as she has the strangest childhood. I'm assuming this has affected the way she looks at life, as listening to her talk in any interview shows just how mystical and whimsical her view of life is.
This is what it looks like. Look at this. This looks like a city, like a little model of a city. And all the houses which are here, and streets. This is maybe an elevator to go up there.
Have a good time tonight. You look great.
I can't hear you!
I was surprised that such a big star like you, why don't you go by plane?
The air pressure forces the molecules to go tiny. My name is Bjork, and your television is just about to explode!
I genuinely really love Bjork, and if you liked what has been playing throughout the video, I'd highly recommend checking her out. And if you want some more artists that are similar to Bjork in style or genre, I'd say Aphex Twin captures a lot of her experimental electronic side, and Kate Bush has similarly amazing vocal performances with a comparable amount of experimentation, and Portishead has a very similar feel to Bjork with a dramatic woman vocalist and the unique instrumentals and stuff. And so yeah, that's all I got.
And so peaceful until you fall in love. Simple, the sky up above. Simple is caving in. Wow, wow! You've never been so nuts about a guy you wanna love.